Hello, 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 and welcome to Tea Talks with Tawan. Thank you for joining me, coming here. You know, here at Tea Talk, we believe everybody needs a little TLC. You know what I'm talking about. Yes, some tender loving care because we all need that, but we also need that transformational lifestyle content that will help us with becoming our best selves and creating our best lives. And we all have a vision for showing up and being our best selves. So I want to thank you for coming on in and joining me here at Tea Talks. We're here just about every Monday at 8 o'clock, bringing you a little bit, spilling some tea on different topics, personal development topics that will help you on your journey of becoming your best self, evolving into that person you want to be, and creating your best life. Now, if this is your first time to Tea Talks and you don't know who I am, I just want to say hello, welcome. I'm Tawan. I am the founder of Tea Talks with Tawan. I am a certified life coach. I am a certified change car advocate, change management practitioner, and I am here to help you with your goal of becoming your best self and creating your best life. One thing I want to tell you, if this is your first time here, is you need to go ahead and grab you a pencil and a pen because I'm going to be dropping some tea. I'm going to be giving you some nuggets that you can always walk away and start implementing immediately, no matter what I'm talking about, whether it's me or a guest that I bring on here. Now, if this is your first time, you just happen to stumble upon it, one of our subject matters caught your attention, and you decided to look at it, please come back and join us again. All you have to do, if you're on YouTube, hit that little button. It'll give you a notification. If you're on Facebook and if you follow me, it will also give you a notification and say, hey, Tea Talks with Tawan is starting, and come on and join us. So today on Tea Talks, I don't want to talk a whole lot about me. So hopefully you have your pen, your pad, you're in a comfortable seat, and you're ready to talk about this subject. And this is a subject that's near and dear to me. And I want to talk about it because a lot of times we kind of gleam over this, and a lot of people don't give it the attention that is needed. But the subject is real. And I want to talk about the holiday blues. Yes, the holiday blues. The holidays are we're in the thick of the holidays. We have just surpassed Thanksgiving and we're going into the holiday season for Christmas, New Year's. And this is one of the times of years when some people call it the winter blues because of course the change of season sometimes gives us a different feeling. But the holidays is not an exciting and joyful for everybody. Some people do suffer from the holiday blues. And it is stated that at least 48% of Americans suffer from holiday depression or the holiday blues. So I want to take some time today to talk about what the holiday blues are. How do we how do we get into the holiday blues, and some coping mechanisms that you can use during this holiday if you find yourself in this situation. Now, what is the holiday blues? What really is that? And basically, it's just a feeling of sadness that lasts through the whole holidays. And I know people say, just through the holidays. Yes, this is a sadness that happens just through the holidays. And it generally starts at about the beginning of November, and it can last for some people to the end of December, the beginning of the year, or for some it goes beyond into February to after Valentine's Day. So the holiday blues is real. It is not a mental illness that is recognized in the DSM 5 And if you don't know what that is, let me tell you, that's the diagnostic, and it's a whole lot, diagnostic and statistical manual of mental disorders. And that's what mental health providers use to classify different mental disorders. Now, the holiday blues is not a mental disorder, but it is just as serious because the holiday blues brings about anxiety, it brings about stress, and it brings about depression. And these are three elements that also show up in some other mental illness. Again, not saying that holiday blues mean you have a mental illness. It just means that you have a temporary condition that leaves you feeling sad or overwhelming feeling of sadness throughout a certain period. So let's talk about what the holiday blues can do to you. The holiday blues can make you feel sad, depressed, sad and depressed. It can give you anxiety and it can give you a high level of stress. So let's talk about what depression is, because I want people to have a full understanding, because I want you to be able to look and see and be like, oh, I might have this, or maybe somebody who's close to you who might have this, and you may be able to help them navigate through that through this season. So depression, a serious now, depression is something that is in the DSM book. However, you have to be diagnosed with it. And we all, at some point in time in our lives, have dealt with some level of mild depression. Like if you lose somebody in your family, you might suffer from some mild depression. But depression is a serious medical illness that negatively affects how you feel, the way you think, and how you act. It can change your whole persona. Again, negative feelings that affect how you feel, the way you think, and how you act. Now, let's talk about anxiety. And we all have dealt with some level of anxiety, and we just have. We have just been in a pandemic, and we all have had some level of anxiety. Anxiety is a feeling of worry, nervousness, uneasiness of something that's uncertain and what the outcome may be. So we talk about depression, we talk about anxiety and stress. We all know what stress is. Stress is a mental or emotional strain or tension that comes from adverse or demanding circumstances. And what does the holiday bring to us? The holiday can bring some adverse and some very demanding circumstances. So now let's talk about how do we get into the holiday blues. And I'm going to tell you, for a while, I used to always hear people talk about the winter blues or the holiday blues. And for a very long time, and if you're in the comments, tell me if you've ever experienced the holiday blues, if you know anybody who has, and tell me what your experience has been with it. I would love for you to share with me. You know, of course, I'm going to share my personal stories if I ever have them around the topics that we discuss. And the holiday blues is real. And I realized this when I got my first divorce. Going through the holiday season and not being married. And that meant things were changing. My traditions were not going to be the same. How I did Christmas, I was missing the person that I was married to. So the holiday blues bring about that. It brings about grief because we miss people who are not here to share it with us, be it in death, be it in divorce, be it that they in the service and just can't be here with us, be it that they're in a hospital or whatever the circumstances may be. But one of the things that causes the holiday blues is loneliness. And you know, nobody, excuse me, y'all, nobody wants to feel isolated or alone. So that is one of the biggest contributing factors to the holiday blues, being isolated and feeling alone. And we can feel alone and isolated for many reasons. Like I said, just navigating a divorce and seeing how my life has changed, and me thinking about the things that it used to be and thinking about what used to be and what I don't have, causing me to focus on the lack and not appreciate and have gratitude to where I am and what I did have caused me to be very sad. And that does that to many people because we get really focused on what used to be and not really staying in the present, in the moment, and trying to embrace where we are. And there's a lot of things that cause that. I'm very clear about some things that I just don't do because I want to say that sometimes I still suffer from the holiday blues because I come from a small family. People have deceased and left. I miss my grandmother. I miss my grandfather. I miss friends that were here. So there are people that I miss in my life who contribute to me greatly. And when they're not here for me to celebrate the holidays, and that goes for other people as well. When you don't have people who are there who can celebrate with you, so that causes you to feel isolated and alone. And sometimes when you're feeling that anxiety and that depression, you separate yourself and start staying away from people. So we're going to talk a little bit about that later. But another contributing factor is finances. The holiday brings about a whole lot of financial responsibilities for a lot of people. You know, we just came through a holiday where a family, this is generally when family tend to get together and, you know, you put together the big feast and you have all the food and all the things and you accommodate family coming into town. And it comes with a financial obligation. And it's just the start of the financial obligation, really, for the holiday season. Because if you think about it, as soon as we leave out of Thanksgiving, what do you have following the next couple of days? You have something called Black Friday, where you can get all the best sales, or so they say, for Christmas. So people start, their finances start become funny, or they're looking at their finances because the pressure of buying gifts, because the holidays have become so commercialized and taken away from the sentiment and the traditions that usually should go with it, like just spending time with family. But the financial pressures that come with the holidays, being able to have all the family over, having the big feast, getting the gifts, the gifts for the children now are not what they used to be. We have so many electronic things that cost money. So financial obligations cause people to go and have, anxiety and a lot of stress about how am I going to pay for the things they do. Or when people don't have the finances to do it and they want to have that Christmas that they want, or the Christmas that they see other people have, or that holiday season that they see other people have. And when they can't do it, that puts them in a place of sadness and depression, because of course nobody don't want to not have a good Christmas or a good Thanksgiving or things like that. Everybody wants to have a nice holiday season. So if your finances is not in that place, it also can bring about the holiday blues, depression, stress, and anxiety. But not only is it the finances, the loneliness, and the isolation, it is just really the demands that come with the holiday season. It's a lot of hustle and bustle that comes with the holidays, all the shopping that needs to be done, family and friends getting together, the parties that are being held, and all those different things. That causes people anxiety and stress. I This year I have been invited to like 6 holiday parties, some of them back to back to back. And truthfully, for my own well-being, the answer has to be no. You can't just go to everything. And I would love to go to every last one of these parties. I'm not going to lie to you. I would. But some of the demands are just too much and they're too overwhelming. And it can start to cause some folks some level of anxiety, because how do I do it? Because it also takes away from your time. It puts a demand on your time, and it also puts a demand on your finances, because some people, when they get invited to these different parties, they want to have, depending on what the parties are, what do I have to wear? Is it a black tie affair, not a black tie affair? Do I have to dress up? Do I have the clothes that is needed to wear? I don't want to wear the same outfit that I wore to the last party or wore last year. I'm here to tell you that the holidays bring about a lot of different things So, we just got to figure out, how do we deal with the holidays? How do we really deal with these holidays? Oh Lord, let me, so I don't put something on the screen. Sorry, y'all. Did not mean to put it on the screen. So holiday blues. It can come from isolation and loneliness. It can come from financial demands and strains. And it can come from all the demands that just really comes from the holiday. Just think about running out, shopping, cooking, getting your house ready, traveling if you have to travel, and then if you have kids, making sure that they have a wonderful holiday. All this plays a role in how you feel and how you react and how you think during this holiday period. So right now we're going to stop and we're going to take a commercial. Then when we come back, I'm going to look at and talk about some of the comments that we're getting. And we're going to talk about some of the ways we can combat the holiday blues. So just stay tuned. We're going to talk about how to deal with the holiday blues. All right. All righty, we are back. I want to say thank you to our sponsor, Tea Lovers Cafe. Thank them for being a sponsor every week with us. If you have not visited Tea Lovers Cafe, I ask that you do go. They have some of the best tasting tea. Yes, I'm a little biased, but they have some of the best tasting tea. So we have talked about what the holiday blues is all about. We have talked about at least 3 ways that you get the holiday blues, that you get it. And there's more ways that we get the holiday blues. I talked about the demands, just the demands that comes with the holidays, the financial stress and demands that are for some people. I talked about the feeling of isolation and being alone. But let me just tell you, it's a couple of other things too that come with financial, well, no, I'm sorry, not financial blues. I was going to say financial blues that come with the holiday blues. We're starting to end the year and we're about to go into a new year. And this is the time when people start taking their time to reflect on their life and where they are and their goals and their dreams and aspirations. And when people start looking at those things and when they see that they haven't moved the needle far from where they say they wanted to be in January and where they are now, the end of November or December, and they start looking at those things. And those are some things that sometimes as well makes people feel a little sad because they feel like they're not getting any momentum in their life. They're not moving the needle towards their goals. So that is another contributing factor to why individuals may feel the holiday blues. Don't ever have holiday blues because I don't get caught up in the holidays. And there's a lot of people who don't. They don't get caught up in the commercialization of the holidays. One of the things, and I'm just going to be, anybody who knows me, ever coach with me, follow me, anything, I'm very transparent. One of the things I don't like to do is watch all the Hallmark movies and all of the Lifetime movies about Christmas because they romanticize Christmas and they give you all these different views of Christmas, and they're always so rosy, and everybody's falling in love and getting the husband and getting the person they want. And I find that to be depressing sometimes. I'm just like, that's just not really what Christmas is all about. And then of course everybody's getting a miracle, and everybody doesn't get a miracle on Christmas. So I don't watch those movies and I don't entertain certain things for reasons, so I don't get caught up into that. But if you should find yourself feeling stressed, some level of depression, or some anxiety, there are some things that you can do to help you with that. And one of the most important things that you definitely need to do is acknowledge how you feel. Don't go through talking about, oh, um, I'll get over it. Express your feelings. Like I just said, I don't watch the movies. I'm telling you, I don't watch these movies for a reason. I will watch some, don't get me wrong, but I don't watch them because of how they make me feel. Especially, I shared with you all at the very beginning that when I got divorced, how I spent my holidays changed. And I was reminiscing, thinking about it that first year, and in thinking about it, it made me sad. And I had to acknowledge the second year that, hey, this is really making me, when I sit here and I think about it, it makes me sad. And I'm sad because I don't have what I used to have. I don't have that way of spending Christmas because my ex-husband had a big family. So we would go over and it was just kids and it was just all the things. I come from a small family. So being a part of a bigger family just was exciting to me. And it made me feel good at the holiday season. So when I lost that, I no longer had that feeling that was attached with the activities that came with it. But I had to be honest and true to myself and acknowledge where I was and how I was feeling, and then come up with a game plan for the following year for how I would not find myself in that situation. And what I actually did is I started a new tradition for myself. I started a new tradition for my family, and we started doing something different. And that took away that gloom for me. Now, I'm not saying that's going to work for everybody, but you do have to put an action plan in place when when you have identified that you are dealing with some type of holiday blues, and what your feelings are with them and how you're going to address your feelings, because you are responsible for yourself and your feelings and how you move yourself from feeling sad, having anxiety, or being stressed. Be realistic. I watch people go, and when they talk about the thousands of dollars that they spending on gifts and how much, like, I have a $2,000 limit for my husband or wife. I have $1,000 limit for each child. Is that a realistic expectation? Is that putting more stress on you by doing that? The holiday, especially Christmas, is not about the gift giving, truth be told. That's not what Christmas is about. But because it's so commercialized, that's what it has come across to be to more people. So, are your expectations realistic? Like I said, I've been invited to like 6 different parties, and they're kind of back to back. I think 3 are in one week. I have to be realistic with myself. I can't attend all of them. I just can't because I have other obligations. So I have to be realistic with myself about what I can do. Can I do all the cooking this year for Christmas? I could, but I don't want to, and I'm not going to. If you're coming over, you might have to bring a dish. And that's not an unrealistic expectation to ask people. You can be a host and still ask people to bring things. So it's all about perspective and how do you look at things, but be realistic. And if you're feeling like that you are having some holiday blues, don't be scared to reach out to people and share with them what you're feeling and where you are. What you might find out if there are people in similar situations where you are, or who are going through the holiday blues, maybe for a different reason, and maybe that you all can talk and help each other out. Plan ahead. I said it's a lot of hustle and bustle that comes with the holidays, planning for family, planning for how you're going to cook, the meals you're going to cook, the things you're going to do, the parties you're going to attend, how much money you're going to spend. Plan ahead. Sit down. We all know that Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's come the same time every year. They don't change. Christmas is on the 25th, New Year's is on the 1st, and I do believe Thanksgiving is on the 25th. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. We know that they're coming. Just like you set aside and you do your goals and you plan, set aside and plan. How do you want to do the holidays? That will help you with if you need to ask people to do things for you. It will help you in setting a realistic budget for food, gifts, and all the things that you need to do. So plan ahead. head. But this is probably one of the most important things. Learn to say no. So we have to learn how to say no. You can't say yes to everything, especially when you're having some overwhelming feelings of sadness and depression. When you are feeling a lot of stress and anxiety, it is okay to say no, because you have to take, when you're dealing with this holiday blues, you have to take some time for yourself. You're going to have to feed you. You can't give to everybody. I don't know if you joined me on one of the podcasts I did, but I was talking about how you can't fill somebody else's cup if you can't fill your own. So be able to fill your own cup. And can I tell you, make sure you get some sleep, exercise, and rest. Because one of the things that the holiday blues does, it interrupts your sleep. You don't rest well. You don't eat properly. A lot of times people overeat during the holidays. And especially when they're dealing with the holiday blues, they eat to feed that sadness, that grief, whatever it is that they're feeling. People drink more during the holiday season. So when, like I said, this is not a diagnosis that's in the DSM-5, but holiday blues is serious. And if it proceeds beyond January, I am recommending that you go get help, that you speak to a professional. Somebody can help you navigate through your feelings and help you get to a place of feeling better about who you are, about what you're feeling, and all the things that are coming with your holiday blues. I want you to have a wonderful holiday. I know it's hard not to have the holiday blues sometimes because we're missing people who were in our lives. Some of our traditions have changed for different circumstances, but there's always something to be grateful for. So I'm asking you to just to be in the present, be in the moment, find something to be grateful for. Take some time to acknowledge if you're missing your loved ones who are no longer here. Have your grief, have your cry, and take some time for yourself. And our sponsor is Tea Lovers Cafe. Can I tell you, they have a tea called Peace of Mind, and it's a chamomile tea. It's very good. It's very relaxing, and it will help you to relax, and it will help you to sleep. If you take it about 45 minutes before you go to bed, it is excellent. So I hope you were able to glean something from this broadcast. I hope that you are not dealing with the holiday blues, but if you are, and if you're dealing with it because of isolation and loneliness, get out there, reach out to someone, talk to your friends and your loved ones. You do not have to do this alone. Do not spend all your money. Do not overextend yourself during this holiday time, because the new year is coming and then you'll be trying to set goals for a budget because you overwent the budget. You don't have to do that, because the holidays is not about the gift giving. It really is not. And figure out how to manage all the demands that come with the holidays, the hustle and bustle, the shopping, the cooking, the holiday parties, and all the things that come with it. Find a way to manage it. Take care of yourself. Self-care is important. I look forward to seeing you on next week. And I thank everyone who came on and looked and who's coming to see this after the fact. I appreciate you all. Remember, here at Tea Talks with Tawan, we believe everybody needs a little TLC. During this holiday season, give yourself that tender love and care. But most importantly, make sure you have that transformational lifestyle content that help you with becoming your best self and creating your best life. Until next time, you have a good one.